So we're talking about some dry weather. Now, this dry trend will help out those with water problems like Lake Michigan, Lake Huron are still going up. And that trend isn't stopping. It's this month's rising waters, rising concerns. We're talking about the water's impact for those who live along the St. Mary's River.
God's country. Fresh air, blue skies. It's why everybody downstate kills himself to get up here to vacation in the summertime. And for us, it's 12 months.
The St. Mary's River between Sault Ste. Marie and Detour. It's one of the most gorgeous waterways in the world, filled with beauty at every turn. It's also one of the best freighter viewing rivers for boat nerds. You can follow your favorite boat all the way up or down the river. But with the historic water levels we are experiencing, shipping is causing problems due to something called the Bernoulli Effect. We were lucky enough to follow the Arthur M. Anderson down the St. Mary's. Watch what happens as the Anderson goes by Rotary Park in the Sault. As the ship approaches, the water gets displaced and needs somewhere to go. It looks like the water is getting sucked out of the river, but as the ship passes, the water comes rushing back, creating waves, which is the problem for property owners up and down the river.
Barbu's a really bad spot because it's very low. It floods so bad. When those freighters go through here, it just sucks the water right out and it'll pitch it back up maybe 50 feet onto somebody's lawn.
Because the Anderson is smaller than the 1,000-footers, this footage is not as dramatic, but this happens all up and down the river. Welcome to Bob's Island by Detour. Most of this was yard a couple years ago.
The bigger boats, the ore carriers, predominantly are the ones that throw the big wakes up there.
Again, it's not just the freighters, it's the water levels. And in Detour, the dreaded east wind.
We get a great wind coming right from Drummond Island towards us, and it washes right up on here. As I mentioned earlier, 5 years ago it was 100 yards out. Flat stone, we used to launch fireworks out there. But now, coupled with a ship going by, it'll wash right up onto the deck. It'll wash right up here and splash on the window.
The waves into his yard have even created a duck pond.
It's kind of eye-opening. There's mornings I wake up and I wonder if I'm going to have a houseboat or something of that nature. I haven't tried fishing off the deck yet, but it's getting close. I can toss a rock from the couch into the water now.
Down the shoreline, about a quarter mile, Kathy Coring is having the same problems. East winds are not her friend.
We call it the beast from the east because it starts from way over there. It's a huge fetch. And by the time we get it, it just destroys us. It was bad enough when we had low water. Now with high water, it just wipes us out every time.
A couple of weeks ago, a seiche blew in and covered parts of her property.
And after a storm, we can find rocks that big, that maybe 40-pounders that you can barely lift. And they have been thrown back from the shoreline at least 25, 30 feet. That's a power in those waves. It's not just us, it's everybody, up and down, all of the Great Lakes. Everybody's suffering right now.
They are about to lose their boathouse.
This is all the land we have left after the storm. We used to have land out to that jet ski lift, which I would mow.
So the question is it worth it to live here?
There's not a lot I can do about it. You know, this is the price of living in heaven. It is God's country, and things come with it.
We moved out here. I said to him, that's the last place I'm going. Next one, I go out into Pine Box because I am not leaving this place. I'm not leaving this river. I love it. I absolutely love it.
And here are the high water levels for Lakes Michigan and Huron. Here's the current level right here. There are the old records. We're blowing them by, no problem right here. That's June. July will continue going up just a little bit, and likely still more records going into August. So this is what's going on right now across the Great Lakes. June breaking its record by about 4.5 inches, which is incredible. And of course, less than an inch, hopefully to go up the next 30 days. That's some good news out there. And of course, after that, well, monthly records, unfortunately, will still be broken, likely into at least August and perhaps into September. We'll just have to wait and see.